Now that I thought about, that is actually a pretty relevant.
Okay.
Because that is something, just thinking about the clients I work with, design has come in-house, stayed with the agency, analytics, same kind of thing.
Okay.
But media buying has 100% stayed with the agency.
Okay.
No matter which client. So that could be something you could build an agency around.
Yeah, because most of them probably don't even know how to go about doing that. Like, you can find graphic designers anywhere. You can find creative people, quote unquote. I just read a book about creative people and how they're just lazy. But like the people who are successful are the people who are creative, maybe not as creative as people, but they're much more driven.
Right.
And so, which explains why like a company like you works, because you have driven people, and they take the creative ideas of others and make it actually work out.
Right.
But yeah, so that'd be interesting to see if you guys really adopted the idea of like, we buy media, and we do other things too, but this is what we do. But if you guys do that, then we get credit here.
Absolutely.
I have proof of video right here.
Yeah.
Check it on YouTube.
This is the 10-year plan, yeah.
Check it on YouTube. I don't even know what my YouTube thing is. It's Fatboy01 or something. All right, so market strategizing. All right, you kind of hit on that a little bit as far as like really utilizing your best bang for the buck and SWOT analysis and things like that. What, if there's anything that you would say, a small business, a brand new business, so this is like, it's an entrepreneurship program I'm in, what would be something you'd want to say people should pursue?
From a marketing standpoint?
Whether it's just how they should go about strategizing, or any sort of like one tip. You don't have to give, obviously there's probably 1,000 tips. You'd be like, oh, you should do this. But like, what's like the one thing you're like, what, as a new business, you should really do this?
Right. I would say positioning. That's got to be the foundation. If you don't know exactly who you are and what you do, it's very hard to do anything else after that.
So like the Simon Sinek why sort of thing?
Yeah, exactly. So, you mentioned the wedding venue example. You guys have said from day one, we're going to be old people friendly. That is our niche. That's our thing. And because then you can decide, well, here are the kind of people we need to be talking to. Here are the places we need to be going to advertise. You know who your competitors are, so that influences pricing. It all comes out of positioning.
Right.
The other thing I'll say, and this is coming from someone who's worked in a company that's been around for 50 years. If you don't set that positioning up front, it is a whole lot harder to go back and set it. Because, like Lewis, we've been around 50 years. We've had clients, some of our clients that I work with, we've had for 25, 30 years. And they know what we do for them. It's very hard, if we wanted to go back and say, well, this is who we are now. Because they'll say, no, you're not.
Yeah.
This is who you are.
Clearly not
I've got 25 years proof saying this is who you are.
Yeah.
So if you don't do that up front, that's a tough job trying to rebuild or build from scratch. Yeah.
Or you just have to change your thing entirely later on. Yeah, that's super true, because I feel like, anything, like if you start off with an identity, if you don't start off with an identity, like your market's going to shape you, period. Whether you want it to, or even if you have like and I'm very big on verbalizing things and like writing it down. Because if you don't, then it probably actually isn't truly what you're like. If you actually believe it, you probably would just say it out loud and write it down. Then you'd have like a direct thing to refer back to. But if you don't do that, then you may think that at first, but you're not actually like believing it entirely. So do you guys go through the process of like working with people to do that?
We do. We do. And of course, every client we inherit is at a different place. We inherit some, like Pizza Hut. We're not going to be able to go into Pizza Hut and say, hey, your positioning really needs to be
you guys are all jacked up.
We got that covered, buddy. Don't worry about it. Just sell some pizzas. Other clients, they come to us when they're just getting started. We've got a credit union that we're working with now. It's kind of an offshoot of State Employees Credit Union. Brand new. Brand spanking new. They are just getting off the ground. So we would have more
freedom
influence in that discussion, So the whole spectrum,
Yeah. That's cool. I feel like it would definitely, like, especially be in your positioning where you deal with the clients the most, right? I feel like it'd be really fun to just have those different experiences of like, oh, hey, like, you've been around forever. You're not going to listen to me currently, probably. But let's see what we can talk on. And there's other people who are like, probably, like, sitting at your feet and like, tell me whatever I need to know because I'm totally lost in the marketing world. So, do you find that exciting, or like, where do you feel?
Yeah, there's a lot of responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility.
Spider-Man.
Someone said that. Because we do. We have that. We definitely have the clients who kind of look at you going, hey, I'm all yours.
Yeah.
You guys are the professionals. We have others who know more than I'll ever know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so, but I find both of those enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because the one, you know, it's putty. You can mold it. You can shape it.
Right.
The other one, they are phenomenal partners.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are some sharp people who know their industry. They know what their company can and cannot do,
right.
and the opportunities. And so they're aggressive,
yeah.
driven.
Yeah.
And they are fun people to work with.
Yeah.
So
I bet.
I like both of them. I'll take all of them.
I feel like on both sides you probably learn something. Whether like the molding process, you're learning hands-on a little bit.
Yeah.
The other one you're learning from you are hands-on, but it's more like knowledge being poured in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So especially being a young guy, it's probably pretty cool to be like involved in such a I don't know if thick process would be, but like extensive process.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's one of the best things about working for an agency too, or an agency like us that doesn't specialize in a vertical.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get to go through that process with a travel and tourism client, then a retail client, then a fast food client.
Right. Yeah.
You know, utilities. It's in a day you're touching 10 different industries, and that's really cool.
Yeah. When we were saying earlier, you said you tried to get in the business program, and you failed, unfortunately. Sorry, but it's probably very similar to that currently. Because I mean, like anybody would say on anywhere that like sales is business for the most part. Like if you don't make sales, guess what? You don't have a business.
Yep.
Which is what you're doing. So you're essentially getting a hands-on degree in business in a vast array of businesses.
Yep.
So like realistically, a friend of mine, Jeff Marshall, he does videography for all these different companies or media. And so I don't know actually what he defines it as. I think he calls it media. But he says it's fun because he gets to he could go into any business now, any sort of industry, and just be a part of it, just because he understands them all, which is basically what you're doing, which is super dope. I guess I probably shouldn't use the word dope in a college video, but too late. But it's pretty sweet because you're like learning like anything. You could just go hop into any field now differently and you'll just be like an in-house person. But I feel like that's probably less exciting, personally to me. I don't know about anybody else, but I would say it's probably less exciting to just be like one type of business.
Sure. Yeah.
So because we want to open the wedding venue, but from that we want to invest our money in a bunch of other types of businesses. Just because I think there's so many cool businesses out there that I don't want to just be like known for here's the one thing I do. So, but yeah, I mean, do you feel like you're getting that degree that you didn't get originally? Does that make sense?
Maybe, yeah. Just and you know, real world is going to be better than anything.
Exactly. You're getting
in
paid
a 4-year
to get this
program.
degree.
You know, no offense to whoever's watching this.
Yeah. I'm sure everyone agrees with that.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say so to some extent. And yeah, from a career standpoint, it does broaden my horizons. I mean, I could go into a travel and tourism and say, hey, I've got travel and tourism experience or utilities or whatever.
Exactly.
And we do see, you know, in 50 years at Lewis, we've seen people go from agency to client side, client to agency side.
Right.
Which just strengthens those relationships even more.
Right.
Because they know how you operate, you know how they operate.
Yeah.
At the deepest levels.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What time is it? I don't want to keep you too long. I'll ask my final question then. All right.
12:45. We're in great shape.
Okay. If you had to brand yourself, what would it be? So I brand myself. So my name, my blog is redbeardreport.com. Okay. Because I'm a redbeard, and generally I wear shirts and stuff just for funsies. But what it stands for is that I'm not how I appear. That's what I go for. Okay. So I dress like a slob most of the time. So, but I try and sound decently intelligent until I use the word dope in an interview. And I'm chubby, but I play a lot of sports, and I'm much more athletic than I appear. So that's what I usually go for. That's why I wear red beard stuff to play sports. And people are always like, what is red beard? And I'm like, So how would Thomas Zawistowicz, I don't even remember how you say your last name again. Zawistowicz?
Zawistowicz, yeah.
Okay. All right, Thomas Zawistowicz. Well, I guess have W's in your last name, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. But go ahead.
It's Polish. Any W.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. I was like, I don't know what. I know you're from England, right?
From England, yeah, but I have a Polish last name.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. All right, I'll do it. So, how would you brand yourself?
I don't have a catchy name like Red Beard.
Zawistowicz is pretty. You can do something with that.
They run out of vinyl letters when they're applying it on
That's
shirts.
fair. It's tough.
I think my personal brand hinges on diligence and kind of that extra mile approach.
Okay.
I do have a reputation at the office for being the guy that asks another question.
Okay.
To the point that it's annoying, because I'm so type A that it's got to be right, and I do not want anything going out that's subpar.
Okay.
And I see both merits and pitfalls to that.
Yeah.
You know, I do not want anything going out that's not perfectly polished.
Right.
Whereas maybe
so you're probably gonna hate this video because it's not.
I just won't watch it. No, but that's so. I think that is a big part of my personal brand, if there is one.
Okay.
Just that perfectionism.
Okay, so that's kind of how people see you. That's how you feel like people view you.
Yeah, and clients have commented on, you know, because I'll ask to attend a meeting that I'm not a part of, but it's just to get that extra little bit of information or, you know, insight into how things are working.
Yeah.
They commented on, you know, none of my other reps ever did that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something I can hang my hat on.
That's pretty good.
Perfectly straight, not at an angle.
Not at an angle.
Yep.
Cut straight across. No backwards hats, just all
Absolutely
forwards.
Not. Absolutely not.
No bed bills.
No. Sticker's still on it, yeah.
In case you had to return it. Alright, so, alright, that's a pretty good one. Stephen Mann earlier said that he was a social media guru. That's what he goes like, because he only cares about social media, nothing else.
There you go.
Oh, that's fair. Alright, well that's pretty good. That was an excellent brand.
Alright.
You just need to come up with a logo now. So
work on it.
Maybe a question plus or something, or extra questions.
There you go.
Yeah, you have a whole marketing people, so you should definitely get on that. Alright. No, I said that was my last question. I didn't totally mean that. That was the final question thing. But here's, if you had to say anything that you think people should be doing in general in the world of marketing, this is make your final closing statements on what do you think the most important part about marketing is?
Well, I go back to the positioning thing. You know, you've got to know who you are and what you're trying to accomplish before you can do anything else.
Yep.
As kind of a secondary one, since we already talked about that, I would say give it time. You know, one of the things that we've seen with this kind of transition to digital and the constant exposure to analytics and data, there is a sense that because we have all this real-time data, we need to react immediately and tweak and pull levers and push buttons just to say that we're making changes.
Right.
That goes against everything, you know, in the history of marketing.
Right.
Yes, we have that opportunity, and yes, we can make those changes, but we don't have to.
Right.
Let it play for a little bit.
Yeah, because you never know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about enlisting surgeries, that's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to run a Facebook ad for 3 days and suddenly see, you know, 40 more procedures. That's a 6 to 12 month window. Right. You know, so keeping in mind, you know, what your goals are and what it's going to take to get there. Yeah. And keeping that constantly top of mind as you look at analytics. Yeah.
It's not making all the money I expected it to, but let's just hang on it just a little longer.
Right.
That was good. That was a good final word. All right. Well, thank you, Thomas.
Absolutely.
And I'll let you finish your pizza now since I've prevented you from eating the entire time, and I consumed all mine. So, all right. That's it.
Thanks, sir.
Boom.